Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm feeling better now. And I was actually going to get this video out to you on Tuesday, but then I got busy with open house and stuff. But I'll be making it up to you by getting a lot more videos up for the next 5 days before school starts. So stay tuned for those. And without further ado, let's review Free Guy. Free Guy came out about 2 weeks ago, and I saw it about a week and a half ago. It stars Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Taika Waititi, and a lot more. This review will include spoilers, so if you haven't seen Free Guy yet and want to, go check it out and then come back. So going into this movie, I actually had high expectations for this. I had seen the trailer that dropped about 10 months ago because it got delayed a lot. I wasn't really interested in it around then, but then the new trailer that came out 2 months ago really caught my interest, and I thought, this could be a good movie. So I went in with some pretty high expectations, but even though I had high expectations, I was still blown away by this movie. It's incredible and one of the best movies of the year so far. This movie doesn't have a single bad scene. Each scene is either entertaining, funny, or important and emotional, and you're constantly entertained for the whole 2 hours. This movie does have a couple of parts in the scenes that drag on, and I felt that we could probably cut this down a little bit, but it wasn't that big of an issue. But the problem for me was the last 10 minutes of the third act, because it's basically Guy trying to get to this other unfinished part of Free City before Antoine destroys it, and it's really exciting and emotional because everybody's getting deleted from the game. But then after Guy makes it and Millie makes a deal with Antoine, and then Free City becomes kind of this peaceful place, it didn't really work for me because it kind of felt like the whole thing of Free City had basically been thrown out of the window and just got replaced with this peaceful game. So it kind of felt like that Free City in the long run didn't have anything to do with the story. But it's just the last 10 minutes, and it doesn't ruin the excitement that you're having while watching this movie. This movie's acting is great. Ryan Reynolds is a very entertaining lead, and he's a non-player character with artificial intelligence life. And the way that Ryan Reynolds portrays him is also funny and also yet emotional. There's this whole scene with him realizing that he's just in a video game and he's not real, and he's yelling and screaming at everybody, and you really feel for him because of the way Ryan Reynolds portrayed him. Jodie Comer, Joe Keery, and everyone else are also really good as Buddy. The person who plays Buddy is great, and he's super entertaining, and you pretty much love every scene he's in. And he's not the main point of the story, he's only in half of the movie, but every time you see him you're glad that he's in the movie because he's just so fun. Jodie Comer as Millie is also really good. She really works on some of the comedy, but she mostly works on the emotion. She's really trying to get Guy to know what he is so before Antoine deletes him, and you're really invested on her journey And sometimes you're even more invested on her journey than you are with Guy's journey. Now, Taika Waititi, some people don't really like him in this movie, and I can see why. He's probably the worst actor in here, but I still really liked his performance in here. He's good but not great. Everybody else is great, and he actually has some funny lines and some logistics to him. And you're not, and when he's like destroying Free City, you're not really like hating this guy because he's funny, and also he's not supposed to be the main overarching villain that most movies have. And overall, everybody just did an amazing job in this movie. And the acting also makes the characters amazing. Every single character you like, there's not a single unlikable person. They all have at least like 5-7 lines that work in here, and they actually felt like real life people, because this isn't taking place in a fantasy. This actually takes place in the real world, minus the Free City video game. And it also, I stopped relying on the actors a while, because you know, like those movies where you rely on the actors to carry the characters. I didn't rely on the actors to carry these characters because they were so well written and interesting that I think that they could have probably been casted by someone else, and I still would have liked them just as much. This movie also has some great action scenes in it. Like, half of the action is played for laughs, and half of the action is also works like into the story. The first half of the movie, it's funny action, like people, like Guy is trying to survive all these people, and they're like, this one throws a grenade at him, he tries to throw it back, but then a car deflects it and blows him up. And that's the type of comedy that comical, and most comedy like that in like comedies doesn't really work anymore because the gag's been used over and over and over again. But this one works for the story because it's a video game. Also, the second half of the movie, the action starts to like stop being fun, and also kind of makes you feel bad for the characters, because once everybody figures out that they're not in like a video game, and then Antoine starts like deleting them or erasing their memories, you feel upset because you really care for those characters. Even like the people inside the video game, the non-player characters, you also care for those because everybody's so well written that you care for them. So basically the action in the second half kind of packs a punch. This movie has some great cameos as well. I think Pokemon is how you say it, Ninja, Jacksepticeye, and a bunch of others are in this movie. And they're basically talking about Free City on like YouTube channels and Twitch. And there's actually this joke that I caught on. I don't think many other people caught, but the dates of the videos that were published on YouTube were actually like previous release dates that this movie was supposed to come out on, like July 3rd and December 11th. I thought that was pretty clever, even if it didn't really make sense, because they're reporting on the subject that's happening right away, so there wouldn't be like 7 months in between or something. But nonetheless, it was still interesting to see, and the references are by far the best part of the movie. At the end, when Guy is fighting Dude, he pulls out Captain America's shield, and then there's Chris Evans reacting to it, and then he gets a Hulk arm, punches him in the face, and then the best part, he pulls out a lightsaber and starts attacking Dude, and those were the best parts of the movie, and I was like in shock. So the references were great and added to the movie. If they weren't here, the movie would still have been great, but they just add to the movie to like a whole different level, and it's awesome to see. This movie is so jam-packed with story that it makes the movie feel a lot longer than it is. But you don't mind because you're having so much fun. This movie could have been like 2.5 hours, and I wouldn't mind because it was so much fun. And there was one time when I went up to get to the bathroom, I debated on it for like 10 minutes because I was enjoying the movie so much and I didn't want to miss it. So that shows you how good the movie was. So see this movie as soon as possible, and definitely in a theater. If like you have IMAX or something, we have Super Screen Deluxe because of Marcus Theaters. But whichever screen is the biggest, go watch it on that. Even if it is extra money, it's well worth it because you see all the action on the big screen, and it was well worth it. In the end, Free Guy was an amazing movie that when I went out of the theater, I loved it. And I really want to see it again as soon as as possible. And I'm giving Free Guy a 9 out of 10. Guys, thanks so much for watching. As said in the beginning of this review, I'm going to have a lot more videos coming out in like the next 5 days. So make sure to look out for those. And after like a review coming out this Tuesday, I believe, my channels will be slowing down because school starts the day after, and I'll probably have my next video up on Friday. So just letting you know there. You can check out my second channel, Nerd Nation Vlogs, in the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.